Well, I'm recording, so just like whenever you want to start, however you want to
Hello and welcome. Sorry, Gareth. Sorry, mate. I just spoke over you then.
I was telling you, you were ready to start whenever. Are you?
Okay.
You introed over me telling you that.
Right. 3, 2, 1, action.
The Gamecentral Podcast. Hadouken!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever Gamecentral Podcast. Today we've got lots coming up for you, but first we're going to start with just introducing ourselves, saying a bit about our backgrounds, hopefully not adding any illegal information about ourselves. Then we're going to get on to our favourite game of 2013. So let's start by you guys meeting the team. We've got Gareth Williams.
All right.
And Guy Whitlock.
Good evening.
So guys, Gareth, you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself, your gaming background, and basically your gaming in general.
All right. Let's see. I live in Manchester. I'm mid-20s. Not single, ladies. I'm sorry to say.
Shame.
I know. Also, men. You know, if men want
You
to
never
come on
know.
to me, that's fine.
Guy, don't start crying.
I run gamebanter.co.uk, which is a video game website with video games and things to do with video games. And I own an Xbox, a Wii, a 3DS, and I'm building a PC at the moment. So that's my consoles.
Well, you should be focusing on this podcast rather than building PCs, Gareth.
Okay, I'll
Didn't realise we had a master race.
Yeah.
Master race guy in here.
I just always wanted to do it, so I figured, fuck the podcast. Obviously, I just hate the podcast now.
Just building one at the moment. And whereabouts are you right now?
What, in my house?
No, not in your house. Building your PC. Is it a giant rig in your front room?
No. I've ordered a lot of the pieces, but the case hasn't come yet, so I can't start slotting it. So I'm kind of surrounded by boxes. You can't just slot things. I've told you this.
I suppose. But enough of us, Gareth.
Yep.
Let's go to the enigma that is Whitlock.
Oh, 1 second. I've got notifications popping up all over the place. It's so unprofessional.
It's okay. Just ignore the notifications, Guy.
The children are arguing.
It's okay. That's not your little crash. You can look away for one moment, and I'm sure they're not going to kill themselves in some kind of electrical mist of the internet.
Right. I'm Guy. I'm from the East Midlands. I'm 20 years old. Gee, I feel like I did not sign up for this.
You did. We didn't make you sign anything.
You totally signed up for this.
You agreed to do this.
I have a Wii U, a PS3, and a not very well built PC.
Well done.
If you need a well built PC, I can do that for you.
Yeah, but no.
Okay.
No. Well, that's nice of you, Gareth, and quite rude, to be honest.
Nice.
Just refusing.
I would assume that was an offer to just free build me a PC and then send it to me.
Through the post. Well, let's see how Gareth
turns out.
Well, it was until you fucking shot me down.
Oh, what?
That's rude.
No,
but anyway, Guy, that's enough of your egotistical side talking about yourself. We're going to have to move away from that for 1 second. My name's Rob.
Yeah.
I'm obviously a gamer. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this. Maybe I would be, and I'd be out of my depth, and it'd be a bit terrible.
That's Guy's job.
That's Guy's job.
Boom!
So, there we go. We got some information on Guy that people will be rather unimpressed with. So anyway, I've got myself an Xbox 360. I've got myself a Xbox One, which I got at launch, luckily enough.
Nice.
And I have a numerous retro consoles, which are not plugged in. They're just kind of plopped around my room because I can't be bothered to hook them all up. And there's so many emulators nowadays. There's Xbox Live where you can play all your favourite games. There's really no need for it anymore.
Yeah, plus you can just steal stuff nowadays.
And
can you?
You just download stuff
if
illegally.
you've built yourself a PC, yeah. But I can't steal stuff on my Xbox 360.
Well, while we're talking about you, Rob, Mr. I have a girlfriend that lets me do everything. Why don't you tell everyone about your games room and everything? and your model
Games room and everything. I'll
and
start
your
with the
and your
games room because everything's
magazines.
a bit broad. The games room is basically where I put all my gaming stuff, obviously. I've got various models around the place, which some people would call quite sad. My favourite collection I like to collect is Play Arts Kite, which range from about £50 to £90 per figure. I've got every issue of Edge magazine. I've got every issue of Games TM magazine. I don't know why I'm boasting about that. Like it's some sort of would put me at the top of any hierarchical structure. Basically, it's a real geek's palace, and I like to have that around me to remind me just who I am and where I came from, the gaming life.
But you see, if you were single, this would be a hilariously embarrassing story. But it's not, because you are in a stable relationship. So fuck you.
I am in a stable relationship,
Yep.
so fuck me.
So fuck you. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're just a man of everything, aren't you?
Whoa, someone's not bitter here, Gareth.
I know.
don't know.
Holy shit.
But there's a bit of bitterness inside, guy, that I think's just coming out here.
There's a divide.
Well,
Yeah.
I just think a man that hair dries his testicles shouldn't have so much stuff. That's all.
Well, I'm sorry,
In.
Guy, if you disagree with the way that I keep myself hygienic. We'd run out of towels on that day, and as I told you, I wasn't going to be doing a podcast with my testicles moist, because that's just not how I roll.
Also, I think that's one of the more creative ways to make yourself infertile.
It is. I've tried numerous ways.
Yeah.
I've not been successful yet, as I have 2 children from a previous relationship that failed. So, Guy, you can be pretty happy about that one. But I still see my children. We have a great
the massive
relationship.
nerd has had 2 stable relationships, even though
I've had,
broke
well, 1 and a
That makes
half.
it feel loads
It
better.
was half stable, half unstable. Thus why it ended.
That's right.
But enough of my private life, because it's turning into
It's very
a bit of Jeremy Guile here. Jeremy Guile, as I like to call him.
Yeah.
Right, so without any further ado, let's get on to our favourite games of 2013, starting with you, Gareth.
Alright, well, I've been thinking about this a lot in the past few weeks.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, okay, well, apparently I
So
haven't.
apparently as a mind reader as well now.
So the guy just tells me what I've done in my entire life.
Yeah. You have not said that. You did not even think about that. Since when did he start thinking about it then, Guy?
Well, I think he stopped thinking about it when, before we started this, we were discussing this, and he just went, well, it's hard because there's no game even came close to The Last of Us.
Well, no,
Like,
because this is what I was going to say before you so rudely interrupted me.
There we go.
Is that I've been trying to think of like a top 10, but every time I try and think, no game ever knocks The Last of Us off number 1.
There we go. Gareth, you just tell us why you love it right now. And I'll have to think of another game, because that was actually my game.
We can
We
have the
agreed on
same.
before we started.
You can have the same game.
No,
I'm
you
just gonna
can't.
make one up now, just to be controversial.
Alright,
Oh.
well, you do that, and then I'll tell you why you're wrong later, even though you
Excellent.
completely agree with me.
Thank you.
It just is the best game in pretty much every way I can think of. Like, a lot of people had problems with the shooting and the gameplay and stuff, but I personally loved it. I don't know how you felt about it, Rob.
I couldn't stand it, to be honest.
Really? And you still loved it?
Yeah,
Wow.
I loved it, but I couldn't stand it in equal measures.
Huh. See, I didn't have that problem. I really
Yeah.
liked the combat. I didn't like I thought the zombies were really unscary. Like, I'm a proper pussy, so I was really worried that if I was going to play it, it was just going to freak me out and I wouldn't ever want to play it again.
All the clicking, like...
Yeah, but they just kill you instantly. So it's like, if they grab you, you just restart. It's not scary.
Yeah, there's no real... You don't really feel too scared, because you know as soon as they've seen you, there's no real point. You might as well just reload the checkpoint.
Yeah, it's pass or fail. Like in Resident Evil, like a zombie grabs you, gets you down to fuck all health, and then you get away and you're limping away, and you're like, please don't be any more zombies. Like, that's scary. But what's not scary is every zombie kills you instantly, and then you just start again.
But I suppose that really comes on to the frail being of being just a human being, really. You're not Nathan Drake. You're not someone with great hair in Resident Evil and massive pectoral muscles that just rip out of your shirt. You are just a normal average Joel.
Well, Joel has a pretty glorious beard.
He does, but that wouldn't protect him from zombie attack.
I
Right.
disagree.
I'm going to Google Joel's beard right now so I can somehow relate to
Guy,
There you go.
people should know, Guy hasn't played any games this year from the conversation we were having.
He does, Gareth, but he just doesn't play the installments, and he only wishes for the sequels of the games he hasn't actually played.
That's true.
So you'll be looking forward to The Last of Us 2, not having actually played The Last of Us, because it's not come out on Wii U.
The Wii U.
Alright, look at
Whoa,
it.
whoa,
Don't start.
So, Guy, what is your game of the year, 2013? Just
out
specific.
of all, 4 games I played in 2013?
Yeah.
I don't know, actually.
4 games?
No, I was joking, it's more than that.
That's
okay.
like double the amount we thought you'd played.
I can't, although there is 4 I can't actually decide between. I know I said Super Mario 3D World before we started, but I've really enjoyed Rayman Legends as well.
Yeah, that is a very good
Rayman
game.
Legends is absolute, especially with
Guy,
2
you have to
people.
pick one.
That is a really good game to pick if you haven't played any other games this year.
Or if you've got a girlfriend to play it with.
Oh, shit. Oh, shots fired. And landed in
Look,
his
my
face.
friend comes round and we sit in our onesies and we have hot chocolate and marshmallows and we just mellow and have a lads' night playing Rayman Legends on the Wii U. Is that a problem with
That is an actual lads' night. But what are you going to choose? Super Mario World 3D or Rayman?
I am actually going to say... can't we come back to me? This is hard.
We can come back to you, which is a very good...
I'm really
very
interested. I'm really interested to hear what game you've just made up is your favourite. To be honest.
The first
What
of us.
game I particularly liked was Aliens Colonial Marines.
Oh no!
Or as I like to call it, Colon Marines. I bought it for today for £3 from Game because I thought, come on, it can't be that bad that I would regret spending £3 on it.
Yeah.
So I turn it on, as you do. You've got to turn it on to play it.
Guy, this is... Okay, listen to him, because he's telling you how to actually play games.
Yeah, for anyone that's come into this podcast not knowing what games are, I'm just going to go through very basic, step-by-step instructions on how you would access a game. Because, you know, I used to work in Game Station. Old ladies used to come in and say, "Excuse me, if you got the new Michael Bublé CD?" And some people come up, "Can I top my Oyster card up in here, mate?" And things like that. And I had to play with that on a daily basis. So don't just take it for granted that people would know how to turn on an Xbox 360. So I put the game in the tray. I pressed eject, which, funnily enough, didn't eject the game. It took it straight into the body of the Xbox 360.
Wow.
I started playing the game. It was awful. So I stopped playing it and I went back upstairs. But my game of the year, purely from a perspective that I played the most, probably has to be FIFA 14. And now I know people say, "Oh, that's a sports game, you can't enjoy it." But obviously, Last of Us was actually my game of the year. But because Gareth took that away from me, I've had to come up with something quick. And I'm thinking, you are a joy thief. And I've actually played it more than any other game. And people talk about emotion in gaming, Guy. And this is what I say to people that just knock FIFA down.
I like FIFA. I've got FIFA. I enjoy it.
Okay, when you're playing a career mode, and say, like I am at the moment, Charlton Athletic, I play and I get off to the playoffs, I get into the Premier League. This year I've qualified for Europe. When you score that goal, that puts you through to the European Championships, in Europe, obviously.
Yep.
The emotion that goes through, I was standing up, I was screaming so loud that it was absolutely amazing.
I've been there.
And,
But do you not?
yeah, you've been there.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been to the European Championships. No, that's not what I meant.
There we go.
I
that's
went
good.
No,
But anyway, it wouldn't be the European Championships, it was the Europa Cup. And that is very hard to replicate, the sheer joy that you feel when you score a goal that wins you a game in the 90th minute. That is like, no other game can really come close to that sort of joy and just repeating it over and over again. So that would be my game of the year.
But don't you find FIFA 14 incredibly infuriating?
I find it totally infuriating. I played
I find
my game of Ultimate Team because I work in a school and all the children say to me, "Sir, do you play Ultimate Team? Do you play Ultimate Team? Do you play Ultimate Team?" No, but last night I gave it a go. It was pretty infuriating because they just start you off with a terrible team and then they make you buy and pay for cards that you can, like the old Panini sticker albums. Don't know if either of you guys used to get them.
Yeah,
I'm familiar with
But yeah, I used to get the stickers. But I didn't actually have the sticker album. I just used to collect the stickers.
Yeah.
Because I was a bit special. So anyway, I come up against a guy that just had like Oxlade-Chamberlain in his squad, and he just ran past all my defenders and kept scoring. And to me, that's not my skill level. That's just that I'm put at a disadvantage because I haven't spent as much as everyone else on cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always a danger with stuff like that. But I'm a proper sucker for like a free auction house. Like something where I can be shopping for bargains and it's not costing me any money is pretty awesome for me.
I do not know what a free auction house is, Gareth.
Well, no,
He's
just like...
effectively just described to you what a free auction house is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Basically, I still can't grasp the concept.
So, you
it's
know...
like an auction where you can just pick up things and walk out.
No, it's like on Ultimate Team you can say like, I want to search for Wayne Rooney, and then you can, even if you've got only a little bit of money, you can like wait for a bargain or bid on something and hope you get Wayne Rooney. And they had that in a Diablo 3 as well.
What, Wayne Rooney?
Yeah, Wayne Rooney was a class in Diablo 3.
Wow, orc kind of beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
I
no.
have loads of games that I've never played.
But no, I don't have any... people have a pretty negative opinion of FIFA instantly. But I know people that play FIFA and love FIFA. I'm not into it myself because I'm bad at it. But I can see how it can hook people.
Bad in a good way or bad as in a bad way?
Oh, I have no skill or concept how to...
I used to be a Pro Evo guy in the PS2 days. FIFA's got a bad name attached to it because of the earlier editions. But
No, FIFA 2005 and 6 were that was when it was at the top of its game. That's when I was hooked on it.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
guys,
guys 2013 Game of the Year for 2006 is FIFA.
It's FIFA 2006.
No, I just find FIFA 14 just has so much rubber banding that's it's so noticeable. It just
Where it tries to make games
where
entertaining.
you're like, all I do is I play online seasons. That's pretty much all I play on it. And sometimes I'll start a match and I can tell within about 30 seconds that I'm going to
How the
lose
games play out.
because it's just so. When your players are just when they are running for the ball and then they just stop running for the ball for no reason.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, and sometimes it's really, really noticeable, and it just happens constantly for 12 minutes, and it just gets on my nerves. I like it, but it's just when FIFA 14's good and is working, it's brilliant.
It can't be beaten.
No, but then the bad games on it are just.
Maybe Naughty Dog will make a kind of Last of Us FIFA crossover.
Or maybe Telltale Games will make a FIFA 14. What's it?
A FIFA 14 graphic game novelisation.
Yeah. I can't
Yeah,
think of
so-
I don't think what you just said is the term, but that's what I meant.
Thank you. Well, I've made the term, so there you go. The term is now graphic novelisation gaming. There is an actual word for it, but I can't remember it at the moment.
Same.
Right,
So
so
the
Guy,
adventure game.
you've been looking on the face. Well, thanks, Gareth. You could have weighed in a bit earlier there, rather than making myself look like a knob.
I was waiting for a gap in talking, but there's just never is one with you, is there, Ro?
I'm very sorry. Right, so anyway, let's leave a gap here whilst I go on to the next part. We've spoken about our games.
Okay, that's fine. I'll see how it is.
Or two.
We won't
Well,
come back to
okay, Guy.
my decision
Oh,
then.
sorry, Guy. Sorry, your indecision between Super Mario World 3D. Was it, or was it?
I don't even know what it's called.
3D
Look,
World?
I
Is it?
keep away from that side of gaming.
What, you mean the fun side of gaming?
Yeah, the fun side of gaming. Where there's no darkness, where everything's green and happy, and where you can be a guy that's had his girlfriend kidnapped for the 10th time, and yet you still go after her again and again and again. Please, Guy, tell me the attraction.
It's fun. That's it. That's all there is to say about it. If you go and play it, you'll understand.
All right, give me a second.
Go on, yeah. You go off now. I hope your electricity doesn't cut out again while
I know.
we're waiting. But
Right, so Guy, seriously, as a guy who's never really had much faith in Mario, never really understood the joys, can you convince me now, in 2 minutes, why and what I'm missing out as a gamer?
I can't. No. Well,
You can actually feel the passion dripping from Guy. His passion that he holds for his favourite games.
I find some Mario games are quite tiresome, side-scrolling ones. I've got New Super Mario Bros. Wii U as well, but I've played that barely at all. Like a lot of them, it's tired now. It's like an old formula, but
Okay.
I'm going to just, while we're here, I'll just say I'll pick in 3D World as well. I've come to my decision.
How many times, Guy, let's put it this way, how many times would your girlfriend have to be kidnapped for you to say, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm just going to forget about her and go and get someone else?
Well, that never happened to me because she left me. And
Oh my God, Guy. I would say that 3 times before I said, you know what, I can't
don't play. No one plays Mario for the story. That's obvious.
Yeah, because the story's the same.
Yeah, exactly. It's not
Yeah.
about the story. It's about the gameplay.
Mm.
Like
And that's
with
what I'm
3D
saying.
World, with 3D World, every level there's about 96 levels. I think every level is different. It's unique. It's fun. It never gets repetitive. Well, unless you have some really strong adversity towards jumping and running around, then it would
Or if you just play the same level over and over again.
yeah, that would
Which is
also
quite... Does that one have the function in it that you can just let the game play itself if you get stuck?
It does, yes.
Nice.
That is excellent. So you just let the game play itself?
No, I don't, because that's for... It appeals to families. I mean, I understand that you don't spend much time with your family sat there in your room on your iPad.
Oh! My children left me apart. There we go. If my children came over,
Yeah,
would they enjoy it?
they would, yeah.
One is 1 and the other one is 4.
Well, then
Can I
no,
just take
they
a
wouldn't,
minute to
because
tell you a story?
if they were 4 and 7, then they would. 4's probably... A 4-year-old could probably just about play it.
You're still not convincing me that this is the game of the
I
year,
was,
guy,
yeah.
to be honest. You basically said your girlfriend left you and a 4-year-old could play it just about.
Yeah.
And that is your reasoning behind.
It's fun. No, I didn't. I also explained that pretty much every level is unique. There's a lot to go back and unlock and do, and there's a lot of hidden nods to past Mario games. Obviously, that's not something you would understand.
Yeah, obviously I wouldn't get
because you're uncultured.
No, I am very much. I
No,
like a particular type of game, and I'm not afraid to say it because I just did.
I know a lot of people don't like Mario, but it's just fun.
Yeah,
that should be enough to make you want to play it. It's not. You don't get invested.
they should have that on the box, Guy. You know, Mario. It's just fun.
Right, I'm going to read you. I've got the box right here. And it literally, actually, you're taking the piss, but the big headline on the box is, a brand new world filled with Mario fun.
There you go. A brand new world full of Mario fun.
For
no
ages 4 and up.
And it doesn't
The
say
Last of Us filled with Joel fun.
It doesn't actually say for ages 4 and up, but I did see up to 4 players, and I thought, bloody hell, it does actually say that, but no, it
You've
doesn't.
got to have 4 friends though, Guy.
But according to the box, you can. Oh, wow.
Oh.
Or 3 girlfriends.
According to the box, it says this is prepare for your mind to be blown.
Wow, I know that's the one thing
That's
I
what
wouldn't
it
want
says.
to
That's
prepare
actually
for.
what it says. No, it's
And
not.
how do you prepare for that? Like you sit down to play Mario,
Just
you're going
put a
to
helmet
prepare
on.
for your mind to be blown.
Put
What
a
is the
helmet on.
precautions you
A
take?
helmet isn't going to stop your mind blowing.
No, but it'd catch it.
No,
It would stop it making a mess.
Exactly.
yeah.
You didn't say
Which would be nice for
you
your
can't
flat
stop
net.
it being blown. You just want to stop your
No.
mum having to clean up brain.
Yeah, which is okay, but you know, I think just try and stop your brain blowing in your mind. Sorry, brain and mind is probably actually your mind is in your brain, isn't it? So if your mind blows,
Well,
I don't think your brain's necessarily going to blow.
if we're going to get scientific, the mind
I don't
is
think
just
that was science.
metaphysical existence. I mean, technically, a mind can't blow because it doesn't. Well, it doesn't exist. There's no physical objectivity to a mind.
Are you going to read
so-
this box or
Well,
not,
Nintendo-
mate?
Yeah, read
I'm
the-
trying to it.
You're
But
relying on the box to sell the
it
game to
literally
us. It's your
says-
game of the year.
this is not going to sell it to you. It literally says, run, jump, and climb through all kinds of exciting new levels, solo or with friends. That's what it says.
Wow,
So, well,
that is great.
some people just don't have the capacity for colours. That's all it is.
No,
They like their browns and greys.
Yeah, they're
and-
called colourblind.
I mean,
That's pretty offensive, mate.
Yeah.
Just
That's
pick
not-
on
that's not
all
what-
colourblind people.
Some people
No, it
say-
is. It's just, it's hard to sell. I'm not good at selling stuff as it is, especially a game that is clearly aimed at children.
Well, you say that, but that's quite a controversial opinion as well.
Well, it's not. It's aimed at families, but generally it's aimed more to appeal for kids, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Well, I'm sorry, Guy. I don't want
There's
my
a man wearing a cat onesie on the cover. It's
Oh,
clearly
dear.
aimed at children.
Yeah. Well, we're looking at the Facebook group, aren't we, Guy?
Are we?
I
I
put out a question earlier.
When someone left the group because of comments on this thread, I decided to stop looking at it.
Someone left
thought,
the group.
I don't want to be part of this anymore.
You're actually doing a podcast. I'm off. Right. So, have you picked one from here for us, Guy? That was your job before we started to put out the question on Game Central Lives about.
I haven't. You didn't tell me I had to pick out specific answers.
Well, give us any.
Okay, so
Well,
we'll just go through it and read it line by line.
If we all get it up and sit and have a few minutes of quiet.
Hey up.
Doesn't sound right, Guy. You can do that. Me and Gareth will continue reading from the Facebook page if that's alright with you, mate.
I was gonna.
I'm not going to bring up the Facebook page.
Right. Obviously,
How about
people
that?
have said The Last of Us.
Yep.
Ryan Thompson. That's you. Chris
Okay,
said
so
Bioshock
Ryan Thompson,
Infinite.
what was Ryan Thompson's game of the year?
It was The Last of Us. That's what I just said. Were you just?
And what was his reasons, Guy?
Oh Jesus! He's written a giant paragraph. I'm not
Well,
reading it. You just basically said you are both also looking at the Facebook group.
I'm not,
He
because...
said that he was he felt that he was filming the game, not playing it. So I would say that that's probably the wrong way of doing it. So Ryan, go back, mate, and pick up that control pad, put the camera down, and I'm sure you'll find that you enjoy it a lot more if it's already your game of the year.
Yeah, it gets a lot better after that initial 20-second cutscene that's right at the start. If you actually move forwards...
Come on, let's stop picking the way he's worded it.
Right.
Let's not
Right.
be me.
Sorry.
Someone said Bioshock Infinite.
Love Bioshock Infinite, great game.
Another game I didn't play. He mentioned Nerdgasms.
What?
I'm probably not going to play it anytime soon.
Why?
Dear me.
Because
that's not a reason.
Because
I've played
reasons, Guy,
Bioshock.
your reasons for anything.
I played the first Bioshock. I didn't like it. That's why.
Well, right, I did the same thing. I played the first Bioshock for like an hour and didn't get into it at all, but I fucking loved Infinite.
Really?
Yeah.
I might pick it up, even though I've just missed a massive sale on the PSN store to do that. But
I would
But,
highly recommend it.
I'll make a note
Highly.
right here, right now. I'm going to make a note.
Yeah. What's the guy's name in it as well? Book of DeWitt.
Elizabeth.
That's the guy's name.
Oh, I thought you said the
Wow.
bird's name.
What's how you interpret the game, Gareth? You know what you see it as.
Well, all you see is his hands, so it's ambiguous.
His name is Booker DeWitt.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact,
Book is cool.
and that is a fact.
Right, and
I
then
also see we've got Batman Arkham Origins on there.
yeah, another one that I haven't played.
I'm gonna play
I
it.
actually didn't play.
I want to play it, but apparently it was just the same as Arkham City, so I thought, nah.
I liked
Okay.
Arkham City. I'll play that again.
I liked Arkham City, but
There's just too much, though, isn't there, guys? When I put it on after coming home from work, you know, you sit down and you're like, okay, let's play this, and suddenly you actually feel like you're Batman, and it says, Batman, go over here. Batman, there's a question mark over here. Batman, there's some bad guys over there doing this. There's loads of icons appearing on my screen, and my mind actually blows
Yeah,
at
but
that point, guy.
That's Batman. Batman's life is a constant juggling act of
Yes, but
all
I'm not
bullshit
Batman.
that he's got to fucking put up with.
Batman has to kind of differentiate his job to me to make it a lot more easier for someone like me to be able to perform his actions that he does every day. There was too much. It was a mind overload. I liked Arkham Asylum. I liked Arkham City, don't get me wrong. But
another thing I don't like about Arkham Origins, by the looks of it, is that it's snowing and stuff again. Why is it just look the same as Arkham City? Why have they not?
It's the same city, mate.
Yeah, but it is the same city. Yeah, I get that, but it's not.
where do you want him
It's
to
not
go,
the same
guy? Where
fucking
would you love
time,
him
is
to go? Mario Land.
No, I don't. Yeah, that would be brilliant.
Yeah, jumping around in a bloody cat suit, calling
Super
himself
Batman
Cat.
3D world. That'd be brilliant.
That would be a good crossover, actually.
Yeah, you're taking the piss. Listen to what you're saying.
I'm not
You've got a
taking
good
the
idea.
piss.
You need
I don't know what
to be
good
sending
idea.
out some ideas to developers here.
I am, and we've sent so many already that there's just a whole great load of bloody ideas pouring out of this show.
Yeah, we've got a lot of royalty checks coming over the next week
Speaking
or so.
of, are we allowed to mention 2014 games in this one, or are we saving that to next week? Cause
No, we are. We're looking to the past.
Please.
I don't know how you can look to the past.
Ah.
So you're looking over your shoulder, and we're also looking to the future.
I already know
Guy,
what. Alright, okay, yeah.
are you ready for the future? Are you ready to embrace it?
I am ready to embrace it. I'm ready to embrace it with the
games that
same
come.
passion and enthusiasm I've embraced 2013.
Excellent.
Good stuff.
So just looking at it from afar,
Yep.
letting the best games of the generation pass you by,
Yeah.
and crying about it at the end.
Yeah, it's sort of like sitting by a river watching the ducks go past. Except I haven't been sat throwing bread on my bedroom floor while I've been looking at my computer screen as everyone talks about the games. So
Well, there you go. Sometimes
it's
you
not
gotta
really the
feed
same at
into
all. I was just trying to be poetic a minute.
it. No, I think you failed.
It's one of the saddest things I've ever heard.
Okay, Gareth. So you were in prison. Not now. I'm not doing that.
Oh, you're predicting my future now?
Yeah, you're in
Oh,
prison.
Jesus.
I thought we weren't looking to the future in this one.
We are looking into the future now, Guy. You've pushed us on to the future. You can't say we're going to talk about
There's more comments.
2014.
There's more comments to mention.
But, okay, Guy, bring us back to the past again.
Like
Mine's a bit
Dino
low.
Miss Kitty Fantastico Billington leaving
Okay.
group. I hope you haven't actually left if you listen to this.
That's
There's
not
no
a
need-
person. You just
There's-
put a load of adjectives together.
No, I'm not. That is a person. That's their Facebook name. I'm assuming Miss Kitty Fantastico isn't actually their middle name, but
Okay.
Well, it could be, and if it is, sorry.
only this person has declared they're going to leave again. So I feel
Basically, they've said that shitty remarks are the reason I left this group in the first place. If they've left the group, how are they still posting?
because they came back.
Oh, and then they're going to leave again.
That person did leave. I'm not sure why. It was around the time Christabel Gate happened. So
Well, I think I came after that time.
did you?
Yeah,
You've missed like the defining moments of games.
Well, I would ask you to tell us what happened, Guy, but you'd probably say some strange words that don't make any sense, refer to throwing bread to ducks, start crying, and then get stiff in the corner. So it probably wouldn't make any sense anyway.
Like you've known me for years.
Well, yeah, you're just one of those people.
An open book.
Oh.
Right, so are you ready to look forward yet, Guy?
Nope. There's more.
No?
Because Rory, in his infinite wisdom, Mr. Rodders, where is lost the post? He's just full of love. He wanted to name his game of the year on like every console he owns.
Alright, let's go.
Okay.
Hit us with
It
it.
seems like a good time to mention GTA 5 and the Zelda game on 3DS, The Link Between Worlds.
Can't believe we haven't mentioned GTA 5.
Yeah. Well, GTA 5's kind of forgettable, isn't it? Really?
Whoa, it's not that. It's because it's of such a higher class. It's like, it
It's
stands on its
not
own.
high class to stand alongside The Last of Us, is it? So.
I think it is, as it's on a technical level.
Yeah,
Oh.
technically it's good, but I was expecting more. I got overhyped, as I do with everything.
I think the problem that I had with GTA, and I don't know about you guys, is the script was a little bit fluffy. I mean, Franklin, he went around shooting people in the face, stealing cars, doing this, but he always seemed to moan and have a problem with the morals of everyone else.
Yeah.
And he would always be holier than thou. No, we can't do this. What are we doing? What? Having a go at a photographer for taking pictures of someone and invading their privacy. Why do you want me to get on the back of a bike for and invading this person's privacy? That's not right, man. And the next minute you're dragging an old lady out of a car and stamping on her face. So
Yeah.
it didn't quite gel.
Yeah, that's always been the case with GTA games, hasn't it? I think they nailed it a bit with multiple characters. I think they.
That's why I couldn't be Franklin in free mode. I had to be Trevor. Because Trevor, it just makes sense. I find a lot of myself in Trevor. So,
Brilliant.
he is a lot like me.
Good to know the kind of people that we're working with.
Thank you very much. But I think The Last of Us and GTA really showed us where we've come since the beginning of this generation, and it was kind of a amalgamation of all the games that you've seen since 2005 when the Xbox 360 came out, and it was just like a fitting end to that, like a bookend. Stop. This is it now. Everyone look at what we've done.
Yeah.
The problem I had with GTA 5 was the story. I thought it was single player anyway. I thought the story was good. and I really, really liked Michael's side of the story with his family and everything. I thought it was great. And then it just was about the FIB or whatever they're called, and it just became like gold.
Yeah, maybe it escalated a bit too quickly.
I thought the story got out of hand really quickly. One minute I was doing yoga, and the next minute I was fucking fighting off
robbing a bank with a chopper flying from the top.
I just thought the story sort of lost a bit of its character towards the end.
I agree. I thought the story was an absolute mess, to be honest.
I liked it at first, and then...
There's not one story, that's the problem. Every character's got their own main story, and they all take place kind of at the same time. And they don't flow. There's no attempt to make them sort of...
I think they did flow until they started into sort of putting them all together into that big, great mess at the end.
I don't know, man. You can go from like doing Trevor's stuff, which is just ripping off like a private army, and then in the same day in the game, you can like be pulling off missions for the FBI, and none of it made any sense.
Yeah.
It was fun. I'd maybe put it in the lower end of my top 10 for the year.
Do you know what? Do you know what really grabbed me with that game? Those really good tow truck missions.
Oh yeah, where the woman would phone you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that woman who's a complete mess of a fucking human. You've got to do errands for. Jesus Christ.
Well, I think they overdid that side mission in particular a little bit.
Yeah, but like I say, it wasn't so much the story that I think people are all talking about. It's on a technical level.
Yeah.
To get that kind of visuals, the detail in every street. I mean, you could walk down a street and, you know, as gamers, we're used to kind of repetition in games things looking sort of the same, but...
I was expecting to be able to go in more buildings this time. That's something I was disappointed with.
Yeah.
I thought, if anything, they toned down the amount of buildings you could go into.
It's especially annoying because every time you switch characters, they'll be walking out of like a different cafe and be like, yeah, I'm coming out of this cool cafe. Yeah. And then you turn around, it's just a texture.
Can't even go in the Clucking Bell anymore. What's that about?
I know, but, you know, maybe in the next generation we can see. But they're saying that there could be a GTA 5 on the next-gen consoles.
Oh, they've been saying that for ages, haven't they?
They have, but maybe Rockstar just want people to buy the 360 and PS3 versions before, because otherwise people would just wait and then buy it when they bought the new console. So maybe they're just being savvy.
Yeah, they'll buy it. People will buy it twice. People won't give a fuck.
I would buy it twice just to see the next thing. Like they're doing Tomb Raider, they're releasing that again.
Yeah, looks exactly the same.
Right. Moving onwards. I was going to say back to the topics then, but we were still
Back to the Future.
Can I keep us on track, guys?
Dave Woods made a comment that was readable without me to throw up a little bit. So,
hold on, Dave.
Wait, let me check I'm recording.
Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen.
Dragon's Dogma. I didn't play that, but
I didn't play it, but I've been tempted to pick it up quite a lot. Have you played it, Rob?
I actually did. Are we talking about Dragon's Dogma?
Yeah.
Dragon's Dogma, it was quite good. It was kind of like I wouldn't say a poor man's Skyrim, but it was a game that looked up to Skyrim in many respects. I found the combat was superior. But, I mean, it seemed like a lot of busy work and that I wasn't actually really getting anywhere. It was this kind of typical Japanese take on a Western kind of genre. Because I feel that, you know, not being a big Final Fantasy fan and stuff, I'm seeing that whole kind of side of it dying, all the RPGs. And I think that in Japan, especially, there's only a few games that start... I don't know about you guys, but when a Japanese game used to come out in the days of PS1 and PS2, there'd be a real kind of individual feeling to it. And you could tell it was Japanese straight away. And I think we're really losing that now, with Japan's trying to kind of mimic games. I mean, you saw it in that kind of Quantum Theory. I don't know if you guys remember games like this. It was a poor Gears of War ripoff. And I feel that Japan aren't doing what they're good at anymore. They're kind of looking at the West for inspiration.
I think you need to go out and play Ni no Kuni, and then...
That's what I'm saying.
There is still some
There are still
Japanese
some,
games
but
that
there's not the
think-
kind. I mean, you only have to look at Resident Evil to see that that's kind of trying to follow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you played Lost Odyssey on the 360?
my friend has played that, and he says it's absolutely brilliant.
It's
Yeah,
it's
I
super
haven't played it,
Japanese.
but-
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're looking for Japanese stuff, that's a good game.
And I mean, as an RPG, I'm not an RPG fan. That kind of thing. I'm not really into the whole Final Fantasy area, but I'm talking more of things like Devil May Cry, Metal Gear Solid, things that are just quintessentially Japanese, like Metal Gear Solid's Barmy, and seeing the new adverts with Kiefer Sutherland's voice, it doesn't really gel with me.
Well, speaking of Devil May Cry and Metal Gear Solid, we got 2 of those games this year. We got a new Devil May Cry and another Metal Gear Solid in Revengeance. So did you play
Yeah.
either of those?
What about you, Guy? I think Guy just exhaled there. Which I'm not sure what that was. I think that was one of his communications. where
Devil
he
May
says
Cry.
his
I
hand.
have been meaning to get round to both of them.
Oh my
Of
word!
course you have.
Guy,
No, I
have you actually played
I-
any games?
I have, but as I said to Gareth when you disappeared, I don't really play that many big name games. I used to
No.
spend a lot of my time on Steam playing Torchlight 2. That was my life for the last year. And I spent 5 months of last year playing nothing but Black Ops 2 when I played it competitively. So I lost 5 months there.
Well, there you go. Call of Duty is another day, I'm afraid.
It is.
But if you guys don't mind, I'd like to talk about Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I love Devil May Cry 1. 2 was wasn't as good. 3 for me was one of the best games in the PlayStation 2 generation. I just thought everything about it, the combat, the way it played, playing it on the harder difficulties was like playing a completely different game. And I think it kind of lost its way in Devil May Cry 4 with Nero and such, because I like Dante. I'm a big Dante fan. And when I saw the DMC, the first trailer, I thought, oh my god, they've made Dante into an emo. I hated it. I wanted to hate everything about it. Ninja Theory with I quite like their Enslaved game. I wasn't too big on Heavenly Sword, but Enslaved I thought was pretty good. Devil May Cry, I wanted to hate it, really did. But that's what I'm saying. Capcom and these Japanese studios, they're very hesitant now to be developing their own games. They're farming them out a lot. And I mean, Devil May Cry, like I said, the whole Japanese side of it is what made it special for me. It had that, like you say, with Platinum Games with Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah.
It had that real Japanese kind of feel to it and that sort of combat that you just can't replicate. But I think Ninja Theory has done such a good job of getting, when you hit something with a weapon, you really feel it. Like the hammer and the axe felt a lot different to the sword. And it's kind of, I read in a magazine once, I read magazines, just showing off a bit, that, Japanese games are all about the 1, 2, 3 hit. So it's like 2 quick hits and 1 big hit. And that's the real thing that you feel that they can do better than any other kind of country. It's that whole combat. It's why they're brilliant at beat 'em ups. They've got that whole feeling of connecting with something and really feel like you're at one with the control and the character, and you really do feel that. And I love the Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Like I said, I went against. I was one of the biggest haters of it in the beginning, wondering what they'd done. But yeah, it's really revitalised the series now after Devil May Cry 4. And I just feel, especially with Capcom, when they're kind of sourcing out their big games like Devil May Cry and Lost Planet, I think they're going to be probably doing it with Resident Evil 6 soon. But you're losing a lot of those big studio heads like Shinji Mikami and guys like this, real legends. And they're going off to do other things now. And that's what I think the real shame is. Devil May Cry and the lights and Resident Evil was Shinji Mikami. Like he made Resident Evil 4. So you lose Shinji Mikami, you're not going to get another Resident Evil 4. It's not Capcom that make Resident Evil. For me, it's the individuals that develop these games and they have their ideas. So it's no surprise people don't like Resident Evil 6 because it's not made by the guy that made Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, I definitely think like I don't have any experience with other Devil May Cries, but I definitely think they did an awesome job of starting off a new Devil May Cry series, because I'm well up for playing another one of those now.
Yeah,
I don't want to go back to a PS2 version because I've seen like footage of it and it looks a bit rough and it looks a bit slower.
Get HD collection now.
Yeah, but I'm so attached to the way the fighting was in DMC, like pulling guys towards you or pulling yourself towards guys, and then
It was so fluent.
yeah,
When you learnt that combat system, you really did learn it.
yeah, you just felt
Sorry, is
so
guy
bad.
still alive? Because I heard him just breathe out and then.
I am. I'm waiting. I have something to contribute to the Resident Evil thing, but I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting.
Here we go.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. That's why I was happy sitting waiting.
Right, if you've got something you want to say, just go.
Well, I was going to say, surprise, I haven't played Resident Evil 6, but
No, that's not a problem, mate. We're with you on that one.
Yeah, I've not played it by choice.
but from what I've seen, it's not atmospheric. It's barely Resident Evil. But I don't get it because I don't know whether you have played it, but Resident Evil: The Umbrella Chronicles on the Wii.
Oh yeah, I actually like that. Yeah.
Later, they managed to make that. They managed to make a first-person light gun action game where you have no control over your character. They managed to make that atmospheric and kind of a little creepy. And then I just don't get how it's gone from even that to
Well, I didn't know what they
the
wanted
monstrosity that
to be.
Resident Evil 6 has become.
Well, what I've seen of Resident Evil 6, it's kind of a mix between Resident Evil 5 and Umbrella Chronicles. Like, everything's very linear. Like, you don't get any real choices. It's just enemies line up and you just kill them, and then you move on to the next
It's
bit.
not just that, Gareth. It's the fact that it's 3 different games. There's one where a guy that uses hand-to-hand combat, which doesn't work.
Yeah.
I found myself in a snow blizzard. Just run. This is in the game, not in real life. Running around, not knowing where I was going. There was no real clear signposting as to what you were supposed to do. Then you've got the kind of Chris sections that are real poor man's Gears of War, and then you've got like Leon sections where you're basically just going around a haunted mansion, kind of old school style Resident Evil.
Yeah.
But the gameplay, it was just dreadful. They tried to make it so you could move when you were shooting, but like Guy says, like half of the horror coming from Resident Evil is that you were fixed in position. I don't know if did you guys play Resident Evil 4?
Yeah.
It was that kind of feeling of you're looking over your shoulder, you've got your gun aimed, but there could be a guy behind you with a chainsaw. But because you haven't got that freedom of movement, you've always got that feeling that there's something behind you, so you've got to turn around and look that way as well. And that took away a lot of tension by being able to let you just free aim.
Makes sense.
To be fair, I think the fact that the controls contribute to the scary atmosphere isn't necessarily a good thing. It'd be good if they could make a game that atmospheric, but whilst also retaining like free aim.
But you've got to be human in that respect. You can't be a hulking machine
Nah.
that can dive out the way and roll out the way. You have to be human. And half the scares in the original Resident Evils on the PlayStation 1 was your limited control.
Yeah.
And feeling that, I'm vulnerable, I'm using a handgun and I'm turning like a tank.
Yeah. To be fair, I think Resident Evil 4 has got one of like the defining moments of gaming, and that's when you're in the house and the whatever you want to call them, they're not zombies, are they? But the infected guys are just everywhere around the house.
I love Plagueis.
Jumping in through the windows and that bit is amazing.
And like I say to you, Guy, that's because you feel like a human. You feel vulnerable. You feel like, oh my God, how am I going to get out of this? It's just me in the house with a thing. You're not a muscle-bound guy with a chainsaw on the end of your gun screaming, "Let's go! Get in your hole!" You're an average guy, and you've got to now face this onslaught.
Yeah, right. We'll move on now. We've gone on for ages.
DMC, Devil May Cry, good game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. We were on Devil May Cry, weren't we? That was it. Do you want to go back to Devil May Cry, or shall we?
It's definitely in my top 10 of the year.
Yeah,
awesome game.
definitely.
If you've not played it, you probably get it for like a $5 now. Get it. It's awesome.
Excellent.
Right, we have obviously honourable mentions of Far Cry 6 in there, and Life 3, as you would expect. Lee Hadley put, does The Binding of Isaac count? It doesn't count, but
No.
have either of you played that game?
Briefly.
No.
Jeez, that is a brilliant game.
And why is that, Guy?
Don't ask me. It's basically...
Oh,
it's
my God.
retro. It's really retro, like top-down. You can only move in 4 directions. It's a dungeon crawler. It's like a Zelda type dungeon crawler, pretty much. But it's all based on like really creepy Bible mythology, and it's weird. It's weird, and it's back to what I said about Mario. It's just fun. It's good.
Well, I think that's the thing with these indie games. I think indie games have really proven their worth this year as viable games, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because before, I kind of used to look down on them, the arcade, Xbox Live Arcade and whatnot. But I think it's proving that, you don't need all the graphics in the world to make a scary game or a game that can immerse you into a world. You've just got to have that imagination.
I was just going to say to Gareth, once your PC is built, get Binding of Isaac on Steam.
I've got it. I've played it.
Oh, have you got it? Did you say yes when I asked?
Yeah.
He said, yeah, a bit.
Jesus, I missed it.
I played it for like a few minutes.
Oh yeah, briefly. That was it. Why? Why only briefly?
Well,
He's
it was like
PC guy.
it was like as soon as it came out, and they didn't have any controller support, and it was a bit rough.
To be fair, they still don't have controller support, but they're re-releasing it actually. I think this year I think they've said more than twice the amount of content and controller support. So
there you go.
Maybe that'll be the time for you to play it again.
I think
and
Gareth waited.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You're going to have to wait longer. It is good. Once you get into it.
Well, I loved Super Meat Boy, so whatever they're doing next.
Oh, Super Meat Boy.
This is for a whole different podcast.
This is going well outside. Right, anyway, and then we've got Tomb Raider has popped up now.
No, Tomb Raider's shit. Fuck off, Tomb Raider.
Whoa, someone's got woman issues.
I'm going to shock you both here, and I'm just going to say the new Tomb Raider.
You've played it? I mean,
nope,
obviously.
I haven't played it.
Excellent.
Wow. Stop the presses.
Yeah.
And then Lee Hadley also mentioned Kerbal Space Program, which is another indie game.
Yeah.
I've tried playing that, but I don't understand. I don't have the patience.
Really big physics thing, yeah. I'm with you on that one. And then that's pretty much GTA popped up again because Trevor. Persona 4 Arena.
Fighting game that isn't Smash Brothers, I'm not interested.
Cool.
The thing with me in fighting games is I'm pretty much terrible at fighting games, but I appreciate the art that they put into them. And Persona, Guilty Gear, BlazBlue. I just love the high kind of anime style graphics.
I think Persona 4 Arena has those anime style graphics you just like to mention, but it's just fan service really for people that played Persona 3 and 4. Which, from what I've heard, it succeeds at that very well. But
fair enough.
If you haven't played Persona 4, you should go out and play it as well.
I have watched people play Persona 4 all the way through.
Just people.
I don't
like, watch
play. You do realise
over their shoulder.
You do realise there's an anime series of it. There was no need to sit and watch people play it.
Well, no, it was awesome. It was it was Jeff Gersman and Vinnie Caravella from Giant Bomb. And they played like an hour of it a day, and there was like 150 episodes of them just playing Persona 4 an hour a day.
It is absolutely brilliant.
I played Persona 4 Golden on the PS Vita. I liked walking around school, making friends.
Yeah.
Because I missed out on that in my real life.
I do what you're laughing for, guy.
I'm laughing because I can relate.
You can relate, there you go. But when it comes to the RPG elements, it blows my mind like Mario does.
Mm-hmm.
No, it is. I think the stories as well. It's all a bit strange when you first start playing it, but I mean some of those social link stories. Persona 4, I'm sure that was the one where there was the girl at school in the drama class. That storyline just gets so fucking intense at the end. It's ridiculous. That's the best thing Persona 4 did, and it was. I don't really get that invested in like stories in games, to be fair. I like Mario, let's be honest. I clearly don't get invested in stories. But
if Mario is your experience,
that did a good job. That did a good job of it. I haven't played The Walking Dead either, speaking of story games, so I'm just going to throw that as well. So
you haven't played that great interactive novel game. It really is incredible.
Some would say it's an adventure.
Oh, I didn't really feel it was an adventure. I thought it was more of a novel.
Right, well,
a graphic novel.
And then we've got people just saying Tomb Raider now. We've got Vaughan saying Tomb Raider,
Neil saying... Tell us your beef with Tomb Raider, because I don't see it personally.
Well, okay, my beef isn't with Lara Croft. I don't hate women.
Is it because you couldn't watch people playing it?
Oh, did you
No,
just say you hate women?
No, I said I didn't hate women.
Do you hate what Lara Croft stands for? Do you
No.
hate that they
Hate
reduced her
independence.
breasts?
Do you like women as long as they're kept in the kitchen? Is that what you're saying?
Here's what I hate. I hate mysterious islands that have an infinite supply of bad guys for no reason.
I hate them too.
Yeah.
You know, I've been to a few myself.
Yeah, I've played.
Far Cry had quite a few.
Far Cry, I was about to say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But like Far Cry's not really taking itself that seriously, and there's a bit of mysticism and bullshit about it.
Yeah.
But like this, so the story of Tomb Raider, there's some guy on an island, and he has an army, and they all have guns, and sometimes they'll just appear out of nowhere and throw Lara off a cliff, because video games.
Because that's what they do.
Yeah, there's like a bit where you're like, there's a bridge, and then you've not seen any enemies for a while, and you have to go around like a truck, and you go around the
And
truck,
you know-
and then a guy
you
pops
know
out
it's
from the
that.
other side of the truck and grabs you, and he's trying to throw you off a bridge. And it's like there's no one else around. That guy's been stood behind
That's
that truck for
inconvenient.
hours, just waiting
Yeah.
to throw this girl off a
Oh, I
cliff.
hope some bloody woman comes walking over this bridge, mate, and I'm going to get so angry.
Fucking throwing women off cliffs. Oh, fucking hell. Like, it's just
I've done
absolutely
work today, John.
ridiculous. And I just can't
Yeah,
get past
I
stuff
see
like
what
that.
I mean.
It's just
That's
lazy.
what I mean.
It's so
Yeah,
lazy.
it doesn't
not
matter
even
how good the
tried.
game is underneath. If it's got something that you can't really comprehend or doesn't make sense, it's going to grate on you.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't personally think that, but you know, I can see where you're coming from. Like, you need to be able to believe that this world you're in has any meaning.
It's
And
not
if that's
grounded
gone-
in any way. It's just
No.
all ridiculous bullshit, and it just pissed me off. Sorry.
Oh, well, before we wrap up this 2013 retrospect, I'm going to throw in the honourable mention of a game that's not been mentioned and is going to be greeted with groans, and that's Dynasty Warriors 8.
Okay, so 2014.
I'm a fan of Dynasty Warriors, or Dynasty Warriors, as I like to call it.
I used to call it Dynasty Warriors, and I was informed apparently it is Dynasty Warriors. So
Yeah, well, they should spell it like that. Dinner.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I thought Dynasty Warriors 8 was the best Dynasty Warriors has been in years.
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
people say they're all pretty much the same.
But they're
But
fun.
you can press
Oh,
the X button in a different variety of ways.
Yep, that's true.
Gareth.
I find it very therapeutic.
That's fine.
And
Yeah.
thousands of people every few
I
minutes.
just like to go into a bunch of men, you know, and just
I see what you're trying to turn that into, but I'm not.
all over the place.
We're not going to take that bait that you've just
The man bait.
You've just
Right, so guys, you've just wrapped up 2013 there quite beautifully.
on a terrible note.
Is there anything we missed that you can think of?
Bravely Default. I'm just going to throw it out there again for anyone that has a 3DS and likes RPGs. Play it.
I don't play any games where their titles don't make any sense.
It's actually the battle mechanics in the game. You can brave and you can default. So there you go.
There you go. And I wouldn't have known that
Education.
just looking at it on the shelf.
Well, yeah. No one would actually know that, to be fair. You've got a 3DS, Gareth. Why do you not own Bravely Default?
Right, so here's the thing, right? I own a 3DS and no 3DS games.
Because you would just watch other people playing theirs.
Well, I bought a
the
3DS
train
at
off.
launch. I got it the day the 3DS came out, and I've never once bought a
Like
game.
300.
Well, what you should...
No. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it does. Of course it does.
What you should do is go and buy... Do you like RPGs?
Yeah.
Buy Bravely Default.
No.
Would you...
Go on, bro. You've really convinced him.
It's just... it's the best RPG
Gareth,
there's
do
been
you
in years.
like football games?
Maybe?
Go buy FIFA.
No.
Well, no, that's the thing. You've asked if you like football games, and then suggested the best football game to go and buy. I asked if you liked RPGs, and then suggested the best current RPG to go and buy. It's the same thing, so you should.
There you go.
It's generally just the best Final Fantasy game. It isn't a Final Fantasy game that has been since forever.
Well, you know, Guy, you keep threatening to wrap up the year 2013, but then you keep going back into it.
I did play things, just not
Close the
same things as everyone
metaphorical
else.
door and stand away from it. Because me and Gareth, we're standing by the door of 2013, ready to shut it and go forward. And it's like, you're like, I need to go
I don't
back.
want to let it go. I don't want to let all these great blockbuster titles that I haven't played. I don't want to...
Well, me and Gareth have played them. We've come to terms that they've been played. We're ready to put them behind us now.
All right, are we gonna close the close this metaphorical door.
I'll
I'm
leave
going
it to you
to close
guys.
the door and I'm going to fuck the lock.
You're gonna what?
I'm going to stick
He's gonna
my
fuck
dick in
the
the
lock,
lock
yeah.
and I'm going to fuck 2013 away because I hated 2013.
Okay.
Yeah, good games
Okay.
and nothing else. Fuck off, 2013.
Yeah.
It's got interesting.
Right, so now, guys, we're in the year 2014.
We've been doing this for like 15 minutes now as well, so we should probably think about wrapping up soon.
No.
Yep. Well, you've just wrapped up 2013. The door is closed.
But we might as well quickly move on to 2014 now, otherwise we look unprofessional. So,
Excellent. Let's go. And we would not want that to happen.
no. So let's do it quickly. I think we should just... What's everyone anticipating this year? You just work
Go,
on that.
Gareth.
Well, obviously, it's the obvious stuff like Titanfall, which looks awesome. But then after today, I actually played the first act of Broken Age today, the Double Fine Adventure game, and I'm really excited for them to release the second act. That's my most anticipated thing now, is waiting for them to release the second act of that game.
Are you a big Double Fine fan?
Not a huge one, no, but this game just grabbed me by the ghoulies. And
Well, that's not good.
I completed it this afternoon, and I've just been thinking about it like non-stop ever since.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's just proper grabbed me, and I'm well excited to see where it goes. And I'm excited for more people to play it, so that people can talk about it, and I can be a part of the conversation and be like, "Yeah, I know." Ah. I think that's the sign of a pretty good game.
Fair enough. Right, Rob, what about you?
I would have to say that I am looking forward to Titanfall, as Gareth just mentioned. I really need a reason to get back into online gaming because I've fallen out of love with it a bit. I don't think it's so much the games themselves; it's just the community.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really losing like any kind of motivation to get on there and start playing again. And I think that hopefully Titanfall can kind of have that point where it's not Call of Duty, it's not Battlefield, and it can be a place where people with a little bit more maturity go and play games. That's not me being like a bit elitist or anything like that. It's like, you know, a lot of kids now, they're coming into gaming and it's just turning into a nursery. You know, if I wanted to talk to kids, I'd stand outside a school playground. I don't want to be talking to kids. You know, I'm not interested. And, you know, it's rape this, rape that, rape your mum. You know, it's just, it's not on, and, you know, I'm not going to come home and do that.
So Gareth is looking forward to getting told he's going to get raped by kids on Titanfall. I'm glad we could come to that.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's not going to change with Titanfall, is it? Let's be fair. The community's still going to be shit.
well, it's 6v6, so you know that straight away that's going to dissuade a lot of little shits who just
No, it's
want
not.
to keep
Because
playing.
COD is 6v6.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. COD is 6v6.
No, COD's like fucking 12v12 if you pick the right mode.
The mode that doesn't exist on
As
COD.
opposed to the wrong mode.
Yeah, you've been playing the
And
wrong
What
mode.
is the wrong mode,
Yeah,
Gareth?
Yeah, but no, it doesn't even go to 12. But it goes to 9x9. That's the most COD goes to, and that's Ground War, and that's the laggiest piece of crap game
Well,
mode
the
in
ground
any.
war was 12v12.
Nope, Ground War's 9v9. Unless it's 12v12 on next gen, it might be. I'm not
No,
sure.
they won't have changed it for next gen. Not like
It's
Battlefield.
Ground War isn't even on the current gen ones for Ghosts. They just omitted it completely and saved it for next gen. There's a really shitty incentive for people to buy the next gen versions.
There you go.
There's no way back in the days of Modern Warfare 2 when I was playing that was 6v6.
It was. It's only ever gone up to 9v9 in Ground War, and it's always been 6v6. I hate to break it to you.
I'm gonna look at this up because I feel like I'm not wrong.
You just feel like it.
I
Right,
feel,
today
I
I
feel
feel
in
like
my
I'm not wrong.
bones.
Is all you're looking forward to Titanfall then?
Broke me?
No, Rob.
Okay, Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm looking forward to Titanfall because I think if you've got a group of like-minded gamers and there's 6 of you and you can form a party and then kind of block out. Basically, I'm quite a bit of gamer when it comes to online games. Call of Duty 4 for me was like the pinnacle. It was like the first real online game I got into on my Xbox 360. Had a great bunch of guys playing it. And I think the whole party chat kind of ruined online gaming for me because suddenly the lobbies would be quiet. I quite like the banter that you got in between games where people would get riled and then they would tell you that they were going to beat you, especially Americans, and you would wipe the floor with them. And then you could just see them getting more and more because that's half the battle, is the whole mindset in that lobby about what's going to go on, and that's the first battle.
Yeah.
But then the lobbies just became silent and you couldn't hear anything, and the only things you can really hear now are children arguing and saying that they're going to quick scope someone. And I haven't really played online with Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 2, because people would just stand behind a wall with a sensor on their gun that's about the size of a car with so many perks. I didn't even know what was going on towards the end. Call of Duty 4 was perfection. Just the right amount of perks, just the right amount of weapons. It felt like a tight, small-scale warfare on every level. Like every level had been meticulously planned. And I'm just hoping the guys that formed Infinity Ward, that went on to make Respawn Entertainment, they are going to bring that kind of thing to Titanfall. Someone needs to bring the simplicity back into multiplayer gaming. It needs to be, at the end of the day, if I've got a gun, you've got a gun. If I see you first and I shoot you, you're going to die. Mm-hmm. And I think we've lost that in gaming now, where you've got people trying to sell you stuff. And I've seen the latest shit about Michael Myers being a downloadable character in Ghosts, and I just think you're just trying too much now. Call of Duty has become a child's playground where they're just throwing shit at them and the kids are lapping it up. We need a real game where let's just pull back the bullshit that we've been piling on to the first-person online experience. Just pull that right back and get back to basics.
Well, fair enough. Can't argue with that.
Well said.
Thank you very much.
What about you, Guy? You're looking forward to playing Tomb Raider in
I'm
2004.
the most enthusiastic person in the group on this discussion. Funnily, amazingly.
You're the luckiest guy in the world, Guy. Literally.
I'm not.
You could go to... Well, you're not, but in terms of games, you could go to Game tomorrow and you could buy The Last of Us. You could buy...
I don't need to, because there's so many good games coming out this year that I'm already looking forward to.
Playing in 2016.
You've got, in March alone, you've got Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD, the re-releases. They're going to be great. You've got the South Park RPG. That's going to be insane.
Yeah, that's lucky.
You've got Tales of Xillia 2, if you like your JRPGs. That's going to be good. That's in March as well, I think. And then for Nintendo, you've got Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, and the one I'm most looking forward to, Hyrule Warriors.
There you go.
That's going to be
Dynasty Warriors.
That is going to be. I'm so looking forward to that, like you wouldn't believe. And then for current gen / next gen, Destiny. Destiny's what I'm looking forward to the most.
No, I'm not a Bungie guy. I hate Bungie.
I cannot. I don't particularly like the Halo games, but I think Destiny looks. If it plays how I hope it's going to play, it's going to be brilliant.
If it plays the way you hope it's going to play, then just play Borderlands.
Well, it's funny because you've actually just sort of, I'm sort of just hoping it's going to be the same as Borderlands, to be honest.
Yeah, they've just massively ripped that off. A game that's coming out...
a more realistic, well, not realistic, but a grand scale and less cel-shaded graphics, that's fine by me. I'll play that shit all day.
Yeah, fair enough. A game that's coming out that we've not mentioned yet is Watch Dogs.
Nah, I don't care for it. They built up the hype and then just shat on everyone. As Ubisoft do. They did it with Rayman Legends. They build up hype for it.
And they shit on you.
And then they go...
Some people love that guy.
Then about a month before the release date, they go, actually, loyal fans that we've got really excited for this amazing looking game, you can't have it yet. Wait a couple of think about it. They did it with Rayman Legends. That was meant to be a Wii U exclusive, and people were like, system seller, and then they just went, just kidding.
It's called running a business.
Yeah.
It's not.
They saw that the Wii U wasn't doing as well as thought.
Yeah, but Rayman Legends was... Yeah, but the thing is, they could have released it on Rayman Legends... On what? They could have released Rayman Legends on the Wii U, and then released it on the other consoles further down the line.
They could have, but at least everyone got to experience.
Instead, they decided to just shit all over people. All 10 people that owned a Wii U at this point felt betrayed.
Let's just shit all over him. They love it.
But I mean, Watch Dogs, I never thought it looked that good, but I know a lot of people that were excited for it.
I pre-ordered PlayStation 4 for it.
I think, yeah, and then they just sort of went, nope, sorry.
That's good though, because you know they're using their they could have just released it on time, shit.
Yeah.
But instead they're taking the time.
But do we know that's what they're doing?
Yeah, because they lost a ton of pre-orders because they wanted to make the game better.
Well,
Yeah. So, Guy, would you rather be shit all over whilst playing the game, or shit all over and then play a good
well,
game?
to be fair, we got a couple of delays for Grand Theft Auto 5, so and South Park, the South Park RPG is now a year overdue, so
Yeah.
All true.
But yeah, the thing for me for Watch Dogs was I was really looking forward to it, and I pre-ordered a PlayStation 4. Then when I heard that, obviously I pre-ordered with game, and then when I heard that obviously it had been delayed, I phoned up and I said, look, I need to know, because this was the whole reason I was getting the console. And they were like, don't worry, your actual bundle now is going to come packaged with NAC. And I was like, excellent. Can I cancel my pre-order, please? And then that's pretty much how it went.
brilliant.
That's basically like being told, you know, you're going to have a great time, and you're going to have a really great time. You're going to spend £350, whatever it was, but it's going to be justified. If I'd done that and I'd bought NAC, I would have sat there and I would have clawed my eyes out whilst crying.
Yeah, NAC doesn't look very good, does it? Well, there's speaking of NAC and platforms, there's rumours that Crash Bandicoot might be coming back this year as well, which would be good for everyone.
Right, I just told you that rumour.
Okay. Have you?
No, I didn't tell you it.
Oh no, I know you didn't. But you speaking of NAC reminded me about it.
I mean, I was never been a big Crash Bandicoot fan.
Crash Bandicoot only exists because PlayStation people saw how awesome Mario 64 was. And
Yeah, but the thing is, Crash Bandicoot, the first three, and
Made by Naughty Dog.
Kart Racer, yep. And then they had The Wrath of Cortex on PS2. That was the last good one. And then you were riding animals around, and it was like free roaming. It was they killed it. So I'm hoping
They're really games of their time, aren't they? Like, Crash Bandicoot was a PlayStation 1 game, and it was good in that era. Yeah.
Even back then, those games looked terrible.
Yeah, they did.
I'm actually just looking. I'm actually just looking at pictures of Crash Bandicoot now, and the amount of triangles.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Pretty much, it was basically made out of just polygons.
His triangular feet.
Big sprites. And that's what it was. Now you can see it, but back then your eyes used to be like, wow, this is amazing, how can this ever be beaten?
Ocarina of Time has aged the worst out of everything ever. That's an ugly game.
Yeah, that was like some different kind of graphical technique altogether, that one.
Yeah. I think they touched it up on the 3DS re-release, but it's still...
Very smeary N64 games.
I still just feel like I'm doing maths when I look at it.
Maths.
The amount of triangles is...
There we go.
Horrible.
Triangular maths.
Well,
trigonometry.
Anyway, trigonometry. You work at a school, you should know what trigonometry is.
No, I do. Maths just goes straight over my head, mate.
Well...
Right, so with that sigh of Guy Whitlock, yeah, another one. That wraps up today's podcast. It's been a great one. Number one.
Well, that's questionable, really, isn't it?
It is questionable. I asked myself that question, and I come to the conclusion that yes, it was great. Hopefully, everyone else would enjoy it. Hopefully, be back again this time next week.
Except with a guest.
With a guest.
Yeah, we'll get a guest, and also I can't actually. Oh, wait a minute, it doesn't matter. Oh, this is not important information. Forget I spoke.
Thank you very much.
Only.
If you could just do that kind of thought process in your mind in future, Guy, which everyone does on a daily basis.
Yeah.
That'll make it run a lot smoother. I'm going to go to bed now, do some of my crying, and hopefully I'll wake up to a better day tomorrow.
Wow, that's a depressing outro.
Now we've got to think of how we sign off. Do we all just say bye together?
Well, I was going to say something inherently depressing, but you beat me to it, so...
Thank you very much. Unless it's more depressing, and you can upstage that.
No, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow should be a good day, so I look forward to speaking to people on the forums. Have a nice afternoon.
Well,
Farewell.
Do we all get to give a little farewell?
It would be
It
rude
has
if
to
we
be
did.
depressing, though, Gareth.
It has to be depressing.
Yeah.
All right. Search for my website on Facebook, gamebanter.co.uk, because I only have about 50 followers, and most of them are my family. So please, anybody.
Just give a reason to write.
Yeah, I'd really
Shameless
like.
plug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay then. So over and out.
Right, see ya. Is that it?
Bye bye.
The Gamecentral Podcast.